Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is video number 2 in the series of Craft With Me. More like a process video, actually. There are a lot of videos out there how to do the step-by-step. Gluing, inking, shaping, whatever you want to call it. So I wasn't going to go over that so closely, but what I wanted to show you more is the process of how I get from start to finish. So what I did this morning was I left you with the pages were bare, and then I went and cut the pieces of lace, ironed them, the ones that needed it. I actually tea-dyed this one here because it was white, and yeah, I just spent a little bit of time placing them where I wanted them on the pages. You know, when you're spacing things out, you want it to have a good flow so that things fall properly. So each of these signatures now has 5 pieces of lace that will extend over the side, and all the same amount of pockets, the vintage lace pockets. And then I put the paper pieces in, which were just a few pockets and a few banners and tickets and side tucks. So I'll just go through it before I actually start gluing, and then you can just watch me glue and we'll just motor along. So here this is going to be a pocket, and what I will do here is stitch with the machine on those 3 sides, and then it will need a big tag. So I'm thinking something probably about this big. So next page, I've got a beautiful vintage handkerchief, and what I did was just fold it over, ironed it, and I will stitch along here and here. And I might eventually put on an applique over the top if it's looking a little too bare. This piece, I'm probably going to I've got some very pretty embellished trims, so I'm probably going to put something like that on that side. And then these banners, not quite 100% sure what I wanted to do. So what I do is I just paper clip everything in place, make sure it's all balanced and equal, and I feel good about it, and then I begin to glue them in. Same with this, not 100% sure about that, and I kind of don't want to have them back to back. So I might need to put another kind of lace embellished piece on there, not necessarily sticking out over the side, but facing in. And we've got a pocket here. And before I would glue this one down, I would distress the edges. We've got this beautiful, it's like vintage organza lace. It's just absolutely beautiful. Vintage lace pocket. And what I would do with this before I actually sew it down is add some narrow trim to the top here, tack it on lightly with glue, and then sew it onto the pocket, and then glue the pocket down. Wait till it's all dry, of course, and then stitch around it. So that's my thinking. Here is another, oh, there's 2 side ones in here. Alrighty. So I might lace a ribbon through there. Something different from the first one. Some of this beautiful ruffled tulle. It's gorgeous. This one has a fold up on the bottom, so I could put some trim there later. This one will be easy. I will just stitch around the 3 sides here to make a pocket. And then in the center of the first signature, I've got some beautiful, I guess, dusty rose, blush colored lace and a paper side tuck. So this will get stitched on and this will just get glued on. And then here I've got some vintage velvet. It's absolutely beautiful. And this piece of lace is, I don't know that it's vintage, but it complements the vintage lace very nicely. So then I would actually just put a dab of glue along there and then stitch it onto the pocket. Wait till it all dries and then stitch it down the sides. I might just leave it as a belly band so that if I put some journaling card or something behind it, it looks really pretty if it shows through the bottom, especially if there's detail on the bottom of the tag. And some beautiful lace that will extend over the side as well. And then this is absolutely stunning. Vintage lace, so pretty. This one I'm probably just going to leave extending over the top of the bottom. I love that look. I might add a button or two or another kind of an applique. This lace piece will get just lightly glued on and then stitched with the sewing machine. And this gorgeous piece of eyelet cotton, that's going to get a big wide satin ribbon through it, maybe even silk if I have the right color of pink. This is a paper pocket with some blush colored vintage lace that I'm going to glue onto the pocket and then stitch it, and then probably just glue it again and just leave the side or the bottom open for the tag to show through. And then some banners up here, another side tuck. Might even just leave it open, or I don't know, look for some wallpaper or something that would match that real pretty. And then this, very sheer, so that will look super pretty with a tag, a tall tag showing through. And again, I will just very lightly dot some glue around there and then end up stitching it around to make a full pocket. And then this again will be a side tuck. And that's the first signature. Then this second signature opens up with this lovely piece of vintage lace that I'll extend over the side just a little bit. And then what I'll do is glue it 3 sides, just dot it with glue and then stitch it around the 3 sides. This is actually some blush colored, it's 2 pieces, a blush colored handkerchief and some lace. So I'll glue that on here, and I don't think I'm going to stitch it there. I'll just dab the glue on and then stitch just on the outside pieces. Some banners, lovely applique. Might move that up a little higher on the page actually. I think that's what I'll do. And then this is beautiful sort of putty colored vintage lace. I'll do the 3 sides and that will become a tuck, side tuck. Then this I will attach to the side flap, but I'll leave it open. So what I do is I open it out and then I stitch down once the glue is dried, and then I will glue the top and the bottom shut. So it makes a nice pocket. Here I will run some lace or seam binding or ribbon or something really pretty through. Here's another pocket, and it has a pretty bow on it, which complements the bow applique of the other page. So I will stitch 3 sides on here. And I love it that these are sheer, because whatever you put in here is going to show through and look so pretty. And then I will probably end up putting some kind of trim here. And this pretty ribbon, sparkly, glitzy pink trim. I'll just run a thread of glue down the side and then stitch it with the machine. And we've got a beautiful blush colored vintage lace piece here that I will stitch on 3 sides to make a pocket. Possibly run some ribbon right through the whole side, the whole top, or trim, 2 pieces of trim. And here we've got this beautiful vintage lace, which I will run a bead of glue down and then stitch it. This is a gorgeous vintage, doily, I guess it is. And what I did was I just cut it in half and then folded it over. So I will probably end up gluing these. I can't stitch it because otherwise it would stitch right through the pocket, but I will make sure that it's strong enough so that it can hold some kind of a journaling card inside it. Inside it as one tuck and then behind it. So that would be a double pocket in the center of the second signature. So pretty. Two side tucks. I'll just glue it on the 3 sides and then I will stitch this, probably pull it out just a little bit farther, and then I will stitch the 3 sides here. One of the reasons why I leave it a little bit longer than I need to is so that I can adjust the pattern. So I try to keep it equal distance from the top and the bottom. You certainly don't have to. And then this gorgeous trim just looks so old and weathered. I love it. And there's a side tuck on the page there. So that will get stitched onto this little flap, and then I will probably glue it down top and bottom. Here we've got another paper pocket that I will add some kind of trim to, probably along the bottom or maybe the top, we'll see. Or maybe even out the side. Here we've got the envelope, which I'm going to try and do what I mentioned in the first video and just attach it right to this page, gluing it here and here so that this becomes a pocket, and then when you fold it over you've got another pocket, so you can actually put 2 tags in there and open it out and it becomes journaling space. And then you can put another piece of ephemera on this side as well if you want to. Here I've got some sort of beige colored cotton eyelet trim with black stitching in it. So pretty. And then this particular lace, I was thinking of doing a pocket this way, but now I actually kind of like it like this. So I might end up stitching it on 3 sides, and then it becomes a very, very interesting tuck. Although it might get a little bit tricky to try and put a card in and out of, but we'll see. So this is still the planning stage for everything. Here we've got a pocket, paper pocket here, and some banners up there. Another vintage lace pocket that I will put trim. I'll probably cut it down a bit and put some trim on the top for sure. Maybe on the bottom as well. And then the last page, I have a piece of vintage lace, kind of ivory colored, and I would stitch it on 3 sides, and again it would become a side tuck. And that's the plan. So it looks pretty full already. I know once my daughter came in the room and said, "Oh, Mom, you're almost finished." And I said, well, it looks like it, but it needs all the stuffing yet. So what I do watch as I'm going along is how thick it's getting. And of course the paper clips, there's a ton of paper clips in here, which adds to the bulk. But right now I'm sitting at 1.5 inches. So my spine would have to be 1.5 inches at this point alone. So I will go up to 2.5 once the ephemera is all in there, and then I would stop adding to it. Just so it's a gauge for how wide it's becoming. So there you go. That's my plan. And I think what I might do is see if I can record the next one in slow motion, so that when I speed it up, it'll go much quicker, and then that way you don't have to listen to me rattling and on and talking, but you can watch what I do instead, so it can be an ASMR video. So I hope you found this helpful, and we will carry on. I'm going to spend some time now gluing in some pieces, and then take them to the machine and stitch them to the pages. So thank you for watching, and we'll chat again soon. Bye for now.